Welcome back to Sage Audio. Today we're covering how to mix vocals with a beat. To get the most from your music, watch the entirety of each chapter for a complete understanding of the topic. Also, if you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Boost frequencies on vocal, cut on beat. The chapters in this video are in no particular order, but they can be combined to augment one another. Now, when we're mixing a vocal and a beat, without control of the individual tracks, other than the stereo instrumental and vocal, it often helps to separate the two. To do this, we'll place an EQ on both tracks and emphasize the vocals while cutting the beat at the same frequencies. For example, I can boost 2.5 kHz on the vocal by 1.5 dB, but dip it by the same amount on the beat. Let's take a listen to this and notice how the effect separates the vocal from the beat.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
Frequency-specific sidechain compression. To make the vocal be dynamically separated from the beat, we can place a compressor on the instrumental and set the external sidechain as the lead vocal. Now the beat will be attenuated whenever the vocal is present, but be sure to achieve only about 1 dB of attenuation at most. Additionally, use a release time of 50 milliseconds to return the beat to unity quickly without distorting its low frequencies. We can also control which frequencies of the vocal trigger the compression, with the mids being a good option. Let's take a listen and pay attention to how this compression carves out some room for the vocal.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
If you're enjoying the video, consider hitting the like button. It really helps us bring you more videos. Dynamic Sidechain EQ. If you have the FabFilter Pro Q3, we can use an interesting trick to boost the vocal. We'll place the EQ on the vocal, then set the beat as the external sidechain. Next, we'll create a dynamic band at 2 kHz and an additive air shelf. If we click on the band, then auto, then the external sidechain icon, the band or bands will be boosted whenever that frequency of the beat is loud enough. As a result, frequencies of the vocal that would have been masked by the beat will now be present. Let's listen to the song and notice how the vocal becomes clear and more present.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
Intelligent EQ sidechain. Next, I want to try reducing resonant frequencies on the instrumental using the vocal as the trigger for the dynamic processing. I'll use Soothe 2 on the beat and set the vocal as the external sidechain. Then I'll use very subtle settings to dynamically reduce various frequencies. This should help attenuate the beat depending on the vocal's frequencies, in turn making it stick out. Let's listen to the effect and notice how the vocal moves forward while the track's mids move back a little.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
Only a small percentage of people that watch our videos are subscribed, so if you're enjoying the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Tube and tape saturation. For this trick, I'm going to place tube distortion on my beat and tape distortion or saturation on my vocal. The idea being that the odd harmonics of the tape distortion and the even of the tube distortion won't overlap, while both tracks are made to sound fuller. Similar to Chapter 1, we're basically using varied frequency responses to separate the two signals. Let's listen and notice how they both sound fuller and a little more distinct from one another.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
Short and long-timed reverb. Next, I'll try 2 different reverb lengths, both of which will be in time with the BPM of the track. I'll use a very short reverb on the vocals to create a doubling effect, and then use a very subtle reverb 4 times its length on the beat. Like the tape and tube distortion in the previous chapter, this will make them both sound fuller, but will keep them distinct due to the different timings. Let's listen and again notice how they both sound fuller yet more distinct.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
Dip beat side, boost vocal mid. Like the first chapter, we can boost parts of the vocal but attenuate them on the instrumental. In addition to this, we can make the boost on the vocal in the mid image and the beats dip on the side image. This will reduce masking and focus the stereo image. Let's take a listen and notice how the beat sits back a little while the vocal comes forward and the overall sound becomes more centered.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
Mid-side mix bus compression. Contrary to a lot of our earlier chapters, we may want the vocal and beat to blend more and feel more cohesive. To accomplish this, I'll use a mid-side compressor and place it on the mix bus. The mids will be compressed more than the sides, causing dynamic stereo expansion. Furthermore, the majority of the vocal and the beat's mid-image will be compressed together, causing a cohesive and uniform sound amongst the two. Let's listen and notice how the two signals glue together.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
Frequency-specific upward compression. For this last trick, I'm going to try something unique. First, I'll send both the vocal and the beat to parallel tracks, then place low latency linear phase EQs on both. For the beat, I'll isolate the mid to low frequencies using a low-pass filter. Then I'll do the opposite to the vocals bus by using a high-pass filter. Next, I'll place upward compressors on both, compressing from the noise floor up, and then blend these buses in with the original signals. What this does is increase detail in both the vocal and the beat, but using different ranges. This way the two combine to create a really full sound, but still sound distinct. Let's take a listen and notice how the sends fill out the mix.
Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind. Tell me, do you need it? Cause I'm dying to stay in your arms. Tell me, do you want it? I can be the one if you don't mind.
If you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching.